Have you ever been exploring in your Subaru and hit a beach or a trail like this and have to turn around because you don't know if your Subaru is going to make it? Well, today we're going to talk about how you can take your Subaru on a beach like this and put the sand behind you. For those that are new to the channel, this is my modified 2004 Subaru Forester that I have taken on lots of sandy adventures, including exploring beautiful places like this beach in Montana, as well as other beaches all over BC. As you can see, it does have all-terrain tires, but this video is going to apply to cars, even with stock tires, as long as it still has some tread life in them and they're not completely slick. So let's go ahead and hit the sand. Now, the biggest thing about driving in sand is not sinking. Once you sink, you're going to be pretty much stuck. This means two things. You want to make sure your vehicle is not overloaded, so no trailers, and you don't want to spin the tires, so you got to maintain good throttle control. This also means that when you're moving forwards like this, you want to maintain momentum and you want to just keep going at a steady pace. So you don't want to be rapidly turning, you don't want to be hitting the brakes and accelerating. You just want to stay nice and gentle on the throttle as you move and nice and gentle on the brake. That's going to make sure that you're not digging in and you're not going to be essentially getting stuck and sinking in the sand. This also means that when you're moving, you want to move on level ground. You don't want to do any steep hill climbs or descents because that's going to either lock up your brakes or get those wheels spinning as you try to climb and ultimately get you stuck. At some point, you might see that your wheels are starting to spin. So what do you do there? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and stop any throttle. As I said, as soon as you see a little bit of spin, you're going to want to go ahead and stop getting those tires spinning. So that means stopping the throttle. And then you're going to want to go ahead, put it in reverse and see if you can go ahead and back out of it. So the least amount of throttle you can give it and just see if you can slowly crawl your way back out. Maybe there's something in the sand ahead of you that is getting you stuck and you're able to remove yourself from it. If not, this is where the next thing I'm going to talk about comes in. When you're exploring sand, especially for your first couple times, it's important to do it with the buddy system. That means having someone else with another car and with a recovery rope that knows how to use it, that can pull you out when you're hitting the sand. With that being said, when you are on the buddy system and you have two cars, don't have the two cars follow really close, because if you get one stuck and the other one's going in the same spot and getting stuck as well, then you're going to be in real trouble and the buddy system didn't really help you. So make sure you have a little bit of separation and make sure, if you can, communicate by radio, let them know what's going on up front. If you're getting stuck, say, hey, hold up, I'm going to need a rescue here in a second, I think. But first, try to reverse out. Can't reverse out, say, hey, get that recovery strap ready and let's go ahead and get this car out of the sand. But hopefully that never happens and you're following the steps that I mentioned above, keeping good throttle control, not rapidly accelerating, not rapidly braking, and just keeping your momentum across the sand and driving in, well, a pretty calm manner. And if you have the means to air your tires back up, I would recommend decreasing the pressure when you're driving on sand. This will ultimately give you a little bit more of a contact patch in the sand and just give you a little more flotation. For aftermarket all-terrain tires, you can go to around 15 PSI, and for the stock Subaru tires, I wouldn't recommend going much more below 25 in case you do de-bead a tire, which is going to be a pain in the sand. If you do end up airing down your tires, don't forget to go ahead and fill them back up before you hit the asphalts. And there you go. It turns out you can take your Subaru on the beach and down sandy trails. Let me know what your guys' sandy adventures look like down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to go ahead and check out Flat for Off-Road and the channel memberships. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next adventure.